I'm Dr. Brian Prax, and this is the Peripheral Neuropathy Recovery DVD. Before we get started, as always, I want to reiterate the 3 goals I have for you and the 3 goals for this DVD. It's all about reinventing your life, creating that return on investment of a 10-to-1 ratio or better, and creating an exit strategy to this peripheral neuropathy. So before we get started, what makes us different? That's important to know. What makes this whole brain-based therapy program different? Well, not only do we have an exit strategy, which I think is really important, but we also look at this condition holistically. Not just as a group of symptoms. I have numbness or tingling in my arms or my feet. My feet hurt, my legs hurt. Not just as you and your symptoms, but really as you tied together with everything that we talked about in my peripheral neuropathy workshop. The web of physiological dysfunction is what's going on, and that is what we have to look at, the whole entire web. We also take a 3-pronged approach to healing. And I want to draw out our 3-pronged stool. Just like a stool, peripheral neuropathy has a base. We'll put peripheral neuropathy on the top of that stool. We have to look at it from a 3-legged or 3-pronged approach. You've all seen this before. First, we have to look at your structure. Okay? So we'll go right here, structure. Why the structure? Well, peripheral neuropathy, as I get my spine here, peripheral neuropathy has something to do with the nerves that exit the spine, go down the arms and or the legs. We need to look at the spine and how it's working. Are there any problems in the spine? Are there misalignments? Are there muscle spasms? Is there something with a disc inside the spine? Is there something with stenosis? Any and all of these things we have to find out, we have to study, and we have to help to correct as best as possible. So, structurally speaking, we will run a number of tests, but primarily we'll start with a surface EMG that looks like these probes right here. It's painless, and what it does is it looks for how tight are the muscles in your neck, your upper back, your mid-back, and your lower back. So we'll be able to check that out. The other thing that we want to take a look at is the structure of your feet. Why your feet? Whether you have arm peripheral neuropathy or lower extremity peripheral neuropathy, we need to check the structure of your feet because the feet hold you up, and just like the foundation on your house, if the feet are off, if it's off balance right there, that messes with the whole entire structure. So we'll check the feet as well. The second leg is a neurological leg. We'll call it neuro. So we have structure and we have neuro. The neurological is pretty obvious because this is a neurological problem. Okay? It's affecting the nerves on one way or the other. We will do a complete neurological, a functional neurological exam. This will be the most detailed neurological functional exam that you've ever received. For that, we will also run another test called the infrared thermography. In the infrared thermography, essentially we have a probe on this side and we have a probe on that side. And down to 1/10 of a degree Fahrenheit, this scanner will read the temperature of your skin. People ask, well, who cares? The temperature of the skin here compared to here should be within about 0.75 to 0.5 degrees Fahrenheit. If we have it being off and out of balance, one side hotter than the other, it's a blood flow issue. But blood flow is more than that. It's a nerve issue that controls blood flow to that area. It's another clue into what's going on with the nervous system. So it's not just the structure and it's not just the nervous system anymore. We do have to look at that third leg, so we also need to take a look at you metabolically. And this is where your medical doctor comes in. So metabolic system has to do with your blood. Now, for peripheral neuropathy, and frankly for any and all conditions out there, we need to rule out blood-borne issues. Issues such as high levels of glucose or diabetes, pre-diabetes. We need to make sure there's no anemias. If there is an iron deficiency anemia, a thalassemia, other blood issues, we need to just make sure we rule those out. Because if I miss iron deficiency, for example, it doesn't matter how good my brain-based therapy is on the neuro and the structural side. If I miss that, then that's a big piece of the puzzle. Inflammation is something we need to check for. We will run, on most people, we'll run what's called a Chem 56, and it checks 56 different bodily functions going on with the blood, from the liver to the kidney to inflammation, and we may even do hormones. There's another thing that we need to check and rule out in the metabolic side of things, and that's going to be looking for any allergies or sensitivities to some of the foods that you're eating. What we're finding now is that science is finding that there's an 80 to 85% of the population has some food allergy. You may not know about it. It may not be like your young niece or nephew or somebody who you know who has a severe peanut allergy. It may not be that bad, but it might be causing inflammation. It might be messing up with your metabolic system, which is definitely affecting the neurological system. So that's another thing that makes us different, is we want to run the tests, maybe not just the tests that the doctors run or the tests that your insurance company is going to cover, but the tests that are going to give us the answer to this peripheral neuropathy. So we have a couple different tests, several different tests that we may or may not run, and every case is different. And I suppose that's what makes us different as well, is we take it individually. The other thing that we do here at the office, if need be, is we will work with other practitioners. We have a medical endocrinologist who signed on to the program with us. If we need, we can send out to an acupuncturist. We have 2 massage therapists here that your insurance may cover as well. We work with ACAC across the street, great gym with personal trainers. Once we get your body up and running, to get this exit strategy is we're going to want to get you back into some exercise. And we also may send out for x-rays. You may have had x-rays, you may have had MRIs, so I also work with radiologists at Martha Jefferson or UVA. Now this is the Peripheral Neuropathy Recovery DVD. So it's all about what are some things that you can do right now to begin your healing process. This is going to be really important. Very important. Now I do talk about this in the Peripheral Neuropathy workshop, but I want to reiterate because this is so important. It has to do with changing your mind. All right? If I have a program that's exactly the same as what you've already been doing for the last 6 months, 5 years, 10, 20 years, then I'm not doing anything different for you at all. So the first thing that I would ask you to do is at least to begin changing your mind on how you got here and how we're going to unget you here. Okay? To change your mind, I'm going to write it down again. I'll write it in nice block letters. We need to have you go to Life Changing Care, all one word, .com. Now I already talked about that. If you haven't been there, go there and look up peripheral neuropathy and start looking at some of the testimonials. There's written ones. There are, I think 106 the last time I looked at it, written and video testimonials about people with this condition who've actually done drastic improvements with the brain-based therapy. So I really want you to believe, I really want you to review that. Because I do understand that if you can believe it, you can achieve it. What's it? Exit strategy. Okay? The next thing I want you to start at least considering is getting into, if you're not doing it, or getting back into exercise. What was that? Did I just hear some moans there? I'll tell you, the only way to get well and be well is exercise. You have to be exercising. It is so doggone important. So we want to start at least thinking about getting into exercise. I know, but my feet hurt too much. My hands are tingling. I can't even hold a cup of coffee. Start thinking about it. That's where we need to think about this. Life-changing care also constitute a lifestyle change. This may be a deal breaker right now. If you're not willing to change some things, particularly how you're eating, what you're eating, and how you're exercising or not exercising, we might as well just turn this DVD off right now, because this program has a lot to do with lifestyle changes. You got yourself here through injuries, through choosing the right things and not doing the right and doing some wrong things. We need to unget you there by doing a lot of right things. Okay? Nutrition. Where do we start with nutrition? All I want to do with you right now is start thinking about, oh gosh, he's going to be making some nutritional recommendations. Yes, I will. Some of the things you're doing right now. And here's an example. soda. I'm picking on soda. Soda should be like this. Soda, it just needs to be gone. If you want to start healing this condition without paying a penny to me, just stop soda. And if you're thinking, well, I do diet soda, then that's worse. You really need to get rid of the diet soda completely. So those are just a couple of tidbits right there. Get rid of sodas, and in place of that, start drinking a lot of water. Water, really simple, okay? Simple stuff. Start drinking water. Half of your body weight in ounces. So if you weigh 200 pounds, half of that is 100 pounds. That means you drink 100 ounces per day. Just start with that. You will start the detoxification process right off the bat and start to begin to heal. I also want to make sure that you are coming to my health care class, HCC, my health care class, where we cover this. We cover several other things to do and not to do. I think it's pretty good. We cover a lot of good stuff where you can begin your healing as well. The other thing I want you to do is, and where did that book go? Right here. I will send you, or my staff will send you, the chapter right out of Dr. Johnson's book, When Do the Medications, what to do when the medications don't work, regarding peripheral neuropathy, fibromyalgia, and other chronic conditions. We'll send you the chapter on peripheral neuropathy so you can read it. And I'll just give you the chapter, buy the book, but I'll give you the chapter. I want you to read the chapter so you can really understand what is this brain-based therapy stuff all about. He does a great job in the book. So I want you to read that chapter on peripheral neuropathy. So once again, my goals for you when you come in, make sure you attend the healthcare class, get ready for the examination, remember that checklist of things I asked you to do, in order to find the combination to your web of physiological dysfunction, and in order for me to check the boxes off on reinvented that life, got that return on investment of 10 to 1, totally changed her life or his life, and we developed together an exit strategy. In order for me to do that and to figure out your web of physiological dysfunction, you've got to change your mind, change your lifestyle, and really go forward. Draw a line in the sand, say, that's it, I'm tired of this, I'll do whatever it takes to get this thing corrected. Well, I'm Dr. Brian Prax, and I look forward to reinventing your life.